Hello, welcome back to Go Get That Rose. I am your host Sarah. With me, oh my goodness, as always, is my co-host J Wade.
Hey, what's up? Too busy dancing. I don't care. Y'all know who I am. If you don't, you will.
We're just jamming out because this was such a good episode, right?
It really was. I legit enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it. There was nothing about it that really annoyed me too terribly bad, and I wasn't angry at any point. Yeah.
Oh, I was.
Well, I mean, not like you. I wasn't raging like I do sometimes.
Like past episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a fun episode. We got to, I mean, these men have been on the show apparently the whole time, but we got to know some of them a little bit better or for worse. Your opinion's still out there on that one. You want to just jump right into it?
Let's do it to it, man.
All right, let's jump into it. So first group date was our grown-ass man competition.
I was to see Jared and Ashley.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited. They walked into the conference room that they're in, that they're trying to make look all nice, and they have the music playing, and they're doing what is that? They're just talking, and they're out there looking for one man to be a grown-ass man or whatever over the mannequin. It was really weird, but I kind of really liked it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Then definitely a production.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Which, I mean, that's Jared and Ashley, so I don't expect anything less. But I find it really funny. I really think that probably only one or two of these men have ever seen anything of The Bachelor. I don't think any of these men have ever watched the show, because I don't think any of them knew who Tayshia was. And I don't think any of them knew who Ashley and Jared were. Because they were just like, oh, it's Ashley and Jared, or Bachelor, they fell in love in Bachelor in Paradise or whatever. And they're like, now we've been married for 1 year. And I'm like, well, you just skipped over a whole bunch of your stuff, because I watched your 2 seasons of that show and it was insane. But it was nice to see them on the show. I just feel bad because I feel like the guys are like, we don't know who you are. And it's great to see you here. What did you think of this date?
I'm still trying to figure out what math has to do with being grown up. I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm decent at math, but I mean, that kind of shit that they were asking, I was like, dude, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
I mean, I don't know how to spell limousine either, so...
Right. I don't see what any of that stuff had to do with being a grown man. The bouquet thing, again, I don't understand.
That was dumb.
And then the breakfast in bed thing was just whatever. I don't know. Overall, it was, as far as dates go, I think it was stupid and silly.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, but there was some great content that came from it, so
yes,
it's okay.
I really like dates like this. They always have at least one date like this for an early group date where they go to school and they learn something and then they apply it later. There's always some kind of cooking date. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. I love that we got to see my man Bennett was featured heavily this episode, which I love. I love him so much. So yeah, so they do the first part.
Bathrobe.
Which, oh my God. They do the first part and he's already bragging about Harvard, which is it's a trope. I guess I'm just going to pick out everything.
I went to Sinclair Community College in Dayton, Ohio for a couple semesters. Yeah.
I also went to a community college, but I still couldn't spell limousine.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was really funny that he kept getting the answers wrong, and they were just like picking on him and stuff like that. But a lot of intelligent people aren't really good with like basic knowledge and stuff anyway. Sometimes that's the case. So I feel like we don't know what he went to Harvard for. But yeah, I just thought it was
or how he got in.
Or
like,
how he got
in because of his grades, or did he get in because he had some connections? That matters.
Because he killed someone. Just kidding. Don't put that up.
Yes. Lewis and the News add an axe and some plastic, and we're having a party.
But okay, so the next part is when I think the whole Bennett thing started to annoy people. Is when, what, like you said, with the bouquet, and they're like pulling each other trying to get it, which was like, okay, he was like, just the way he carries himself, I can tell it rubs the men the wrong way, because he was just kind of like, well, I'm glad I don't have to do this one because of my old basketball or football injury.
Well, it's like I said last week, he's snooty. He's like,
oh yeah,
he's too good for everybody and all that. I can't stand that.
I love it. But I feel like he's like really could be really nice. But there were times in this episode that he was definitely like, I was like, okay, bring it back, buddy. Like, don't get too big of an ego. Like, calm down. Yeah, so let's talk about the main point of the date, which kind of brings the drama, was she's laying in bed, and they have to cook her breakfast or bring her a meal or something. And, I mean, Chasen, I guess, didn't make anything. And just kind of, here's Chasen after he won the bouquet. He says something like, I'm the whole meal, and like takes off his shirt and gets in the bed with her. Yeah. And I was just like, oh no, stop. Which is cheesy. And then my man Bennett shows up with his robe and gets in the bed under the covers with her, which is a bold move.
Yeah, it is.
And is like, I made beignets from Chateau Benet.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. And Tayshia goes, Bennett's bougie, but I'm bougie, so I like it. And I'm like, that's my girl. That is my girl. He'll be gone like next week. Like, he's not.
There's no way he's gonna be one of the.
Oh no, he's just fun. Like, I would have gave it to him. So then he ends up winning.
Entertaining. I wouldn't say he's fun, but he's entertaining.
Entertaining, yes. Am I like physically attracted to him? Not really, but does he entertain me? Yes.
Yeah.
His eyes are kind of dead.
Physically attracted to in this show.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said I found out today who you're physically attracted to in this show. In this.
Sorry to my husband. Anyway.
If he watches this show, you'll see a picture later.
Well, Chasen and Bennett both have like dead eyes to me. Like, they both just look like their eyes, like they're just nothing going on in their head.
Right.
Yeah. So Ed, who was like, I hope I don't get. It would be embarrassing if I won biggest man child, and then obviously he won biggest man child. That's pretty like rude, right? Like, I don't know. Like, do you think that's like a rude thing that they?
It's mean-spirited.
Yes.
But I was wondering, and a fan of the show, Kaylin Rose, had asked me this, or brought this up last night during the episode. Was that challenge kind of a diss on John Paul Jones?
I don't know.
What I mean? She kind of like, what if I'm correct, at their reunion thing, she was kind of upset because he wasn't stepping up as fast as she wanted him to, or am I wrong on that?
I don't remember, to be honest.
But when she brought that up, I was like, oh, maybe it is a dig at him. I don't know.
Oh, I did not think that way about. Maybe I always just assume it's digs at her ex-husband, but it could be at John Paul Jones.
Because
Colton. Because
right.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's just, like I said, I still don't understand what those challenges have to do with being a grown man.
Nothing. They're just stupid things to put them through. Yeah. So Ed has to carry a baby around, which we'll talk about, which is the title of our show, until Tayshia decided he didn't have to. And then Bennett gets a little plaque that says grown-ass man. And then he goes in for a kiss in front of all the guys, which I think is a bold move, which kind of starts the drama because Chasen is pissed off and is like, that was just inappropriate, but like literally just like bashing him. And I'm like, if you do, you know, if you won, you do the same thing. Same thing.
Either way, I don't understand with all this, with all that kind of attitude. I really don't. They're not, none of them are, okay, let's be real, that none of them are actually dating her. None of them are like have any relationship with her whatsoever on a romantic level. They're not boyfriend, girlfriend. They're not, you know, dude, I don't understand this whole jealousy thing and the whole, like, I can't believe he had the balls to kiss her in front of all of us.
Yeah.
So what if it's
that's why you're on the show.
The point of the show is to try to hook up with this broad. And you're sitting back. I can't stand this, dude. It's like watching it's like watching teenagers. For me, it's like watching like a fucking One Tree Hill or Dawson's Creek or some shit. I don't understand it. Now I would understand that that this kind of thing from the ladies more, because ladies are a little more emotional when it comes to that like whole relationship shit thing.
You ain't wrong. I think men are more emotional. I think men have bigger egos and they get bruised easier on the show.
Your ego, dude, if your ego is bruised because you're one of many contestants here and dude kisses her in front of you and your ego's bruised, well, one, you're not a man, and two, you're just
not a grown-ass man.
No, certainly not. I'm just about to get angry now, so But
that's why I like The Bachelorette, because you get a bunch of, or I like these shows because they pick the people that are like definitely the hottest out of their friend groups, each person. Then they all compete with one another, and then they all are like not used to not being the hottest person in the room, and you just see them implode. I love it. I love it. And that's clearly what's happening.
Yeah, it's entertaining, but I mean, when you get to the level of like, okay, it's just, look at how they're representing themselves and humanity in general on a certain level. It's like, dude, I don't know.
It's reality TV.
well, no, reality TV, dude. J Wade for Bachelor. That's
produced reality TV.
I would clean the hell out of that shit, dude. Gone. I don't like your attitude. You're gone. Get out of here.
I love it.
I just met you 5 seconds ago when you walked out the window.
They would fire you. They'd be like, Jay's not playing along. We've had to bring in 100 different girls because he keeps getting rid of all of them.
Congratulations, Jay. You broke the Bachelor.
You broke the Bachelor. Man. Well, I guess that answers my question on how you feel about Chasen. Yeah, I don't like. So yeah, let's just talk about it. Chasen Ed. It starts out with Chasen and Bennett. With him just like making comments to Bennett. I don't even know. It was kind of childish and annoying. I mean, I don't think Bennett should have showed up on the group date or the after party, wearing a robe.
Right.
Like still wearing it. Yeah. I was like,
made a comment about it.
She was like, way to dress up. Like, yeah. I thought that was just too far. And like he brings, I'm sure he was told to bring the whatever, the certificate to show that he won. And Chasen like made a comment about it. But then later, when Chasen won the other thing, he brought the belt. So I just thought that was kind of funny. Like, so they kind of start beef, and then Ed jumps in, and then him and I don't know how it all started, but Chasen and Ed start going back and forth. And
it started over the smokehouse or not the smoke
show. Because Ed was like, "You're using a lot of the same adjectives to describe Claire, or to describe Tayshia that you used to describe Claire. Like, are you here for the right reasons and motives?" And he's like, I think Ed was also basically like, "I don't like you. Like, I think you're fake.
Right.
I never paid any attention to Ed until this episode. And
Ed, where did you come from?
I love him.
Oh my gosh.
Was he out of line a couple times? Yes. Did he break some? Was I screaming at my phone when I watched it? Like, Ed, stop talking. Like, you were only hurting yourself. Like, shut up. Stop talking. Yes. Did I love it? Yes. I loved every second. I loved it. I don't know. I thought the way he brought it up to Tayshia was pretty smooth. Like, he didn't go in and sit down and was like, Jason's making fun of me. But I don't think he should have said anything. But of course, we need the drama.
Right.
But I loved how he sat down, started talking about how, like, he wants a family and kids someday. And he was like, but there are some men here that I'm not going to name that don't, like Chasen, who keeps making fun of me. I was like, that was smooth.
And you know, for the record, I have now, Chasen's name is no longer Chasen. It is
Smoke Show?
Smoke Show is his name, or Smokey for short.
Let's call him Smokey.
Smokey sounds good to me. Smokey, yeah. Smokey's a douchebag and Ed is petty. I'm gonna call Ed Petty Ed from now on.
Petty Ed, love it. Okay. Now seems like a good time for me to just go off on Smokey.
Do it.
Okay. And I tweeted about it. I ended this episode not liking Smokey. I can't even say it. Not liking him at all. Like, literally thinking he was probably one of the worst people on this show. Like, I do not like him at all. And I'll bring up some points why. So I'm looking through Twitter and looking up these tweets. Like, clearly everyone is on my side. Like, no one likes Jason or Smokey. And I go on Twitter and I go on Smokey's Instagram and he's like posting stuff from his friends saying, like, there's our boy standing up for himself. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then reading comments of people are like, we love you, Jason. Like, you were so wronged last night. And I'm like, wait. So I'm going on Twitter and people are like, Ed was way out of line. He was all wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Jason did nothing wrong. And I'm sitting there like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I tweeted and said, are people seriously on Jason's side? Like, I do not understand. I legit don't. And I have red flags about this man. And here they are. This man is 32 years old, which, whatever.
32!
32. Age is just a number, though. Acting like a child. He starts talking to he sits down and talks to Tayshia. Anytime he talks to her, he never lets her talk. He only talks about himself, never asks her any questions. Maybe that's just in the editing. But in their conversation, he's like, I want a family, blah, blah, blah. I've never been in love before. I know, that's pretty surprising, which is a red flag to me. I'm kind of like, I think it's a red flag that he's 32 and has never been in love. Even if it's like just a puppy love, I don't know. I just think that's like, okay. Then another podcast I was listening to brought up a point that he like whipped out that he's the uncle card. And that was kind of like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be an uncle. So that means I'm going to be a great dad. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. Something popped in my head that is absolutely not appropriate to say on air, so never mind.
So, the things that really make me not like this man is that not, like, once, but multiple times throughout the episode, he refers to himself as the Wolverine, which made me so mad. I'm like, dude, stop. Like, that's something that, like, an 18-year-old does. Like, you are 32 years old. My brother is, like, 32, 33 years old. And if he was to go around and be like, the Wolverine's coming out, I would be like, what is wrong with you? Like, multiple times he was like, man, because he was like, oh, they're acting like Batman and Robin, but I'm I'm Wolverine, like my friends like to call me. And I'm like, oh, no. No, stop. Especially Wolverine, that's like, he's like aggressive. Like, the other thing, which we did bring up, Smokey, he constantly calls Tayshia a smoke show, which, okay, like, maybe once, that's fine. She is a smoke show. She's hot, very attractive woman.
According to the meaning of the word, yes, I would agree.
Yes, that's fine. I love that he was like, I came up with a new way I'm going to reference her, and it's going to be smoke show. And they all started laughing, and how Bennett was like, he had all day to figure out a new adjective, and he came up with a noun, which I thought was so funny.
I don't remember him saying that about Claire. But
yeah, I think that's why, I guess he said, like, so I can differentiate the two, I decided I'm going to call Tayshia a smoke show. Like, I think that's why he starts using the word, and that's why the men were like, a smoke, like, kind of laughing. I guess I misheard it, but that's what another podcast said. That's how he said it. Okay, smoke show. Once, fine, but he said it multiple times. And maybe it's editing that they left out him saying other words, but he never was like, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's smart, she's intelligent, like the other, she's caring, like the other real adjectives. It was always like, she's a smoke show. And I saw, like, some other people, like, tweeting about it, and they're like, she shouldn't be upset that, people shouldn't be upset that he's referring to her as a smoke show. That's not offensive. And it's like, well, you can't decide if it is or if it isn't. Like, some people might just not want to be referred that way. Like, I don't know. Like, it just rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay, to me, even if you don't want to be referred to as that, it's still not offensive. That just means you're oversensitive. But my issue with it is that, one, it's lame, and it sounds really fucking stupid.
It does.
He kept saying it over and over.
He kept saying it. Like, I think that's where I would find it kind of offensive and annoying if you just said it over and over and weren't bringing up other things, like, you're a smoke show and you're intelligent and stuff. It was just that over and over and over again. Yeah. And then the last thing, which goes with the Wolverine act of it, is that his first response when he came back, he got super close to Ed. Wasn't like in his face, but he was pretty close, like towering over him, and was like, you're getting in the way of mine and Tayshia's relationship. Like, just got really defensive. And I was just like, he did not handle that situation well. Yeah, I don't like him. I just think
I look even less upon Petty Ed for running to her and tattling on him.
Yeah, I don't think he should have done that.
He was standing over me and being aggressive, and like, if he wants to win, that's fine, okay? But to do that shit where, like, you're intentionally trying to get him booted off.
Yeah, I don't think he should have done that.
I don't like that kind of stuff.
No.
Just man. Do you. You are supposed to be here for you and her, so focus on that and let the other guys focus on their own stuff.
Because that's where it started to become where I think he said, like, I need to be the one to tell her that he's not here for the right reasons, where it's like, don't do that because you're going to get yourself sent home. It happens all of the time. Like, anyone that goes and if you go snitch on someone else, you're going to be sent home sooner or later. It's just how it works. Before we move on, I just want to talk about Ivan got the rose, and Ivan was the one that he, like, blindfolded her and fed her strawberries, which was so weird. I was like, what is he doing? He got the rose, though, so I guess it worked. And then we have a picture of Ben, and we just talked about him real quick. Crybaby Ben. I don't know how I feel about
validation. I wasn't validated. Wah. Somebody call the ambulance. My name's Ben. I'm sorry, but
I'm just gonna cover it.
Such a crybaby.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about him. Every time we talked to her, he was
like, as far as he's a veteran of our military. Thank you for that, but come on, dude, put some of that fucking balls ass training you got.
He's in the army, right? He's like an army veteran.
Something, yeah. But I mean, come on, dude. You were in the military and shit, and you're on the Bachelorette crying because you didn't get a rose and you didn't get validation. Dude, get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, when he's like, I didn't get the group date rose, I didn't get validation. I was like, dude, she told you, like, you can tell when Tayshia's really into a guy and when she's not. Like, she's really into Ben. She's really into Brendan, the guy on the date, because she'll say it like, I'm really into him. I really like him. Which I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like, Ben just kind of, he just rubs me the wrong way. And then I don't like their conversations. Like, I just feel like they're just off to me. We can talk about it at the end of the episode where he waited on the other group date, how he waited. He was like, I'm going to wait to the very end. I'm going to be the last one in her mind, which I was kind of like, that is a big mistake, buddy. She's going to hate that. Of course, something is going to happen. The producers are going to make something happen. And then he's like, can I steal you? And she's like, I love how she called him out and was like, we're done, and I'm disappointed you didn't come and talk to me sooner. I was like,
yeah, I really like Tayshia, man.
I love her.
Kaylin Rose
a lot.
Coming in late. Yeah, what did you miss? You missed a lot. But
we talked about Bennett.
Yes, we talked about American Psycho and his bathrobe. And real quick, for the title of the episode, here are the the two little girls fighting over who gave who cooties on the playground, and the baby.
Carlos.
It's just terrible. But yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of Smokey is what we've determined so far.
Yes, Jason is now Smokey. Speaking of Smokey, great. We'll just roll into, they have the cocktail party. Oh, excuse me. And before that, Smokey decides he's going to address the whole group, which was stupid on his point.
Yes.
And just call out Ed and be like, if anyone thinks I'm here for the wrong reason, blah, 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 Ed. And Ed's like, I do.
Yeah.
And he said something, I don't remember when he said it, but Ed said, like, you sounded like Zac Efron. Why are you sounding like a Zac Efron movie right now? I was like, I love this guy. You could tell they were just over him at that point. Like, Bennett gets up and grabs Carlos, the little baby, and is like, he doesn't need to hear this.
I love it. Jinx! Jinx!
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Guys are just... I mean, I'm not too terribly annoyed with them. To be honest, I'm far more entertained by them than I am annoyed.
Oh yeah.
So that's a good thing, because on Hannah Brown's season, I was more annoyed than I was entertained.
That's true. I do like these men a lot.
There are definitely some personalities here. That's for sure.
I just don't like Smokey, and he can go home.
Yeah.
The 3 men did go home. One of them was Jay. He was the one that came out in the straitjacket. And then the other 2 are the 2 new guys, and I have no idea what their names are. So, moving on. Before we get into the final group date and all that drama, let's take a quick break and watch some promos from other shows that you can find on this channel.
Hey everybody, Sean and Wade here to tell you about our new review show following each episode of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian.
Dude, yes, Boba Fett!
Not exactly, Wade. Set in the Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi and follows a Mandalorian bounty hunter beyond the reaches of the New Republic.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Did you even watch Return of the Jedi? Never mind. Join us here every week on the Merc with the Movie blog feed. Thank God Kaylin will be here too. I don't think I can handle Wade on my own.
Hey, Jay Wade here to tell you about SEN After Live, our SEN Live After Show, where we talk about, well, whatever Christian, Brett, and the rest of the crew talk about, and the insanity that ensues. So join us each week here on the Merc with the Movie blog feed on your podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube now on the SEN After Live channel. Talk to you then.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean. You guys might know me on this feed from co-hosting Beyond the Screen, but now here at Merc with the Movie Blog, we have started a brand new show exclusively for video games called Game Over Screen. So, join me every week with my co-hosts.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Brendan.
And I'm Tyler.
As we talk about everything video game related, and when we, I guess, get to the Game Over screen. I don't know, I don't have a good pun for that, but the joke is that we're gonna die a lot in the game.
Well, you might.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. Hey guys, it's Sean. I wanted to tell you guys about the new show I'm hosting, the Harry Potter Review Show. Every other week, I'm joined by some combination of Kaylin, Sarah, and one guest that has never read the books. We discuss one movie per episode and break down what we love about them, what we don't love about them, and the differences from the books to the movies. It's a ton of fun, and I hope you guys will tune in to check it out. Until then, mischief managed.
Make sure you go and check out those shows. They're a lot of fun. I forgot to mention something about the first group date. Bennett goes to steal Tayshia away first, and she shuts him down.
Oh, yeah.
He, disappears. We never see him talk to her. And even at the end, because I was looking, he was not on the group date anymore.
Yeah, and I think someone even brought it up. Where's Bennett been?
Yeah, I was like, where'd he go? We never saw him talk to her or whatever. I just thought that was really interesting because I was like, did he get sent home? But then he was at the cocktail party the next night, and obviously he stayed. So I just thought that was really weird. I was like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Maybe he went home to change and he just didn't come back in enough time. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's jump into group date number 2. Let's go. Okay.
I know you're excited about this one.
Full on wrestling. They show up and they're learning these wrestling moves, and they have 2 women that I don't know who they were. I'm so sorry. One was was she UFC or MMA? I think she was UFC. She was the UFC champion. The other one was a WWE woman wrestler. Don't know their names. I do know that. Taught them some different tricks and stuff like that. Then they had a real wrestling. This was I had a boyfriend in high school who was on the wrestling team.
You had a boyfriend in high school?
I did. Isn't that amazing? He was on the wrestling team, and I loved going to matches and watching because I just found it so scary and interesting. So this is kind of what it was, but this was super dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Because they weren't wearing any protection. Because normally they have the things on their ears so that when they're getting slammed on the ground, their ears don't get hit. And that's super important. They didn't have anything. They were all oiled up.
Were they wearing cups?
I don't know.
Because if you would have answered yes or no right away, I'd have been you were looking.
No idea. So we have our wrestlers here.
Yes, they were. I can tell by looking at the dude in the red trunks. There's no way that
Brendan
bull weighing a day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So
they weren't going to let him just go out and be yes, I love. We get the scene of Tayshia. We just said it, but I think Tayshia is just so fun. The interactions with the guys, it's just so lighthearted, and she just makes these little comments with them. And I think it's really fun. She's painting them with a paintbrush and spraying them with the oil from a ketchup mustard bottle. I loved it. They did the one part where they had to get. I don't know why I just did that. They did the one part where they had to get into each other's. I know why
you did, because of the dude in the red. Yeah.
No, they had to get in each other's faces and talk to each other. And okay, we all know I love Bennett. My new love is Joe. I love him. He's so precious. This is not a good picture, but he's so shiny. Oh my gosh, he gets in someone's face, and he's like, "You're a nice man. You got a nice smile."
Yeah.
I love Twitter loves him. They want him to be Bachelor next year, which I am all for.
He's funny.
Joe, first Asian Bachelor, let's go. Joe
Or we
2022.
could also, while we're doing this whole inclusion thing, which is well overdue, we could
J Wade
also
for
have
Bachelor.
like regular people
You're right.
on the show, like say example hashtag J Wade for Bachelor. Why? Because fat guys deserve love too.
That's your slogan.
That is my slogan.
All right.
And
Well,
true.
back to Joe. And he was just saying,
I love it.
I loved it. He was just cracking me up because he was like, we have pro football players, pro basketball players. He's like, and I played volleyball in high school. I was like, I love it. Yeah, so of course the other men were all, thanks, Caleb. The other men were all like cheering them on out. They were literally in a cage. It was really weird. Like banging.
Yeah, it was like out of a scene from Mad Max or some shit, dude.
Yes, or like a prison. Like they were like fighting down and like, oh my gosh. Wells,
get him!
Our boy Wells was there doing the announcement.
Wells, please be on this show, Wells. Love you here.
I want Wells to take over hosting for Chris Harrison when he leaves. He's never going to leave. But I think he would do a great job.
Yeah.
Like, I think Wells would do a really great job. Yeah, Wells is great, funny, hilarious. Love him. I wish he was on it more. He should just like follow Chris Harrison around the whole time. Just be his little like buddy. That'd be so great. Yeah, so they start fighting, whatever. They're like slamming each other on the ground. It was intense. There were several times I'm watching on my phone and I'm like, oh my God. Like literally getting all their aggressions out. Everyone's like, Ed and Smokey are gonna, Petty Ed and Smokey are gonna they're gonna be fighting each other. It was obvious. At the last second, Ed is like, Chris, can I talk to you? Which I was like, come on, dude. Like, come on. You should have done this beforehand. He probably did. But I'm like,
no, I don't think no. I
don't think he did.
I think he straight up was scared.
I think
he was straight up scared, dude.
I think so too. I think he was watching the other men literally getting slammed, like beat up, and he was like, no. And then he goes over and he's like, my shoulder dislocates very easily, which can happen apparently, my husband said. He's like, I can't even throw a football without it being dislocated. And he's like, I don't want to go to the hospital, like we can't leave the bubble, which I'm like, smart thing to say. So Chris Harrison was like, dude, you're built like a brick house.
Yeah. This whole episode pretty much was Ed writing hefty checks to Smokey that he ended up not being able to cash. And he totally pussed out for sure.
We have.
For sure. He did. Man. Yeah, that is not a good look. He goes around acting like a little kid, tattletale on everybody. Chase did this, Chase did that. Chase said I had chicken legs.
But he couldn't admit. Oh yeah, that was the best part.
and then all of a sudden, when it comes time to put Smokey in place, he don't do nothing. So at that moment was when he the man baby award was well earned at that point.
But you know who did do something? Chris Harrison asked if any of the other men would like to join in, and our boy Noah jumps over that fence.
Oh yeah.
Which pissed everyone off, which I was kind of like, well, Chris asked if anyone wanted to join. Like, why are you all mad? You're just mad that he beat you to it. Like,
yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? And him and Chasen fight. It was a draw, but Chasen still won overall, which I was like, they set that up. That's dumb. It should have been Noah. And Chris is like, okay, Noah, you got to go back home. And Tayshia's like, I want him to come on the group date, which obviously, which, like, you're not going to be like, thank you for fighting for me. Bye. Like, go home.
It makes perfect sense that he would go back. date.
all the men were pissed off,
Yeah,
which I was like,
child
I don't know.
again. These guys, it's so terrible to see this kind of childish behavior from men, from men who are supposed to be adults. And for fuck's sake, you're like 32 years old, man. Come on, drop those.
Jay,
I mean, drop your balls and be a man.
This is the Bachelorette. This is what you signed up for, buddy.
Well, yeah.
This is why we watch this show.
It's very.
I want to see grown men act like children. Okay.
Come on,
I want to see their egos get crushed.
You're making us men look bad. But keep it up because it's fun.
But keep it up because it's entertaining and I love it. So, I mean, the big thing that comes out of it is that Noah and Tayshia are like making out, and Tayshia pulls away and she's like, Noah, which, my husband's probably gonna get mad at me for saying this, but my husband has only a mustache right now because when you're in the military, you're not allowed to have facial hair, but you can have like a mustache. It doesn't make sense. So that's all he has. So I understand how she was feeling kissing that, and that mustache was thick. Like kissing that mustache because it like tickles and it's annoying. And she was like, yeah, you gotta shave. It's gotta go. And to his credit, he shaved it and he left, came back, which I knew was gonna happen, interrupts a date. And well, I don't like the way he interrupted it though, because he came back and he was like, do you mind? Like, didn't ask like, hey man, can I steal her back? Like, we're actually got to finish something, whatever. He's just like, hey, you mind? I'm like, that's rude. And then the guy, Jordan, was like, I don't know, you can ask her. She's like, don't do this. Don't put me in the middle of this. Because you could tell, like, she wanted to go with Noah. Like, it was a mess. And they shaved it.
Quick, I like how you put that, though. It's something triggered in my head. You're like, can I steal you for a minute and all this and how this is not cool? And then it just made me think of, like, this is a game. And it made me think of, like basketball, a basketball game going on. And I'm covering you and you're dribbling the ball. And I'm just like, I just come up to you and I'm like, hey, excuse me. You mind if I steal that for a minute? And I just come and take the ball from you. I don't know why, but that just popped in my head when you said that. I just like the comparison of like, hey, let me steal that from you here for a second, and then just willingly giving it up. I'd be like, no, dude. But like you said, Tayshia, she wanted to see.
He should have said, give me like 2 minutes or a minute, and it's all, instead of going, well, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Like that was. He shouldn't have done that. Like, that was kind of a low blow. Because, again, and Tayshia has been saying this the whole time, is that she wants a man that, like, fights for her and stands up for her and, like, puts himself out there. And to Kaylin's point, she says Noah's the only one making it really clear that he has passion, which I agree. Like, I think he really is the only one that's, like, showing up. And he shaved his mustache for her, which, here we are.
Yeah.
Now, do we like it better or with or without the stash?
That's a really odd question for me to answer because
okay, I'll answer.
When he had the stash, all I could think of obviously was porn stash.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, and it was really annoying. Then
I like how it goes like that.
Yeah. Then after he shaved it and I saw him without the mustache, now I kind of miss it. So I'm completely torn. I don't know because he looks a little bit too pretty boy without it.
Yeah.
But I bet he'd look a lot better with at least a goatee and maybe some scruff.
I think he needs a little stubble.
Yeah.
I like it a lot better without the mustache. I think he looks so much, but he needs a little stubble, but he looks so much better without it.
Would you say he's a smoke show?
I would say he's a smoke show. I would also say that Joe is a smoke show. Absolutely. Maybe Bennett. I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, we already brought it up with Ben. Was that his name? Ben just sitting back. Yeah. I don't even know his name. Sitting back the whole time and
baby Ben.
Baby Ben.
Baby boy. Baby Ben.
Sitting back complaining that he didn't get his time, which we all knew was going to happen.
date, Rose. I didn't get the validation. I said so neat.
So with that, he should have stolen her first. If he was that upset about it, he should have stolen her first instead of being like, I'm going to wait until the end. Like, that's stupid of you. Like, I don't know.
Those words, Sarah. He actually said the word validation. I didn't get validation. That's not just me. That's a lovely word, but that is not just a word
That's a lovely word.
Throw out. So that's not me using that word.
I know he used the word validation.
I didn't get validation. Dude, when a fucking Rose on a contest TV game show is whether or not you are validated is anything, dude, get out of here. Thank you for your service, but get out of here.
You don't know when it will end, so why would you wait until the end? Exactly. So dumb. Let me tell this man a cautionary tale. Anyone that decides to go on The Bachelor, there have been a couple of men that have, there have been a couple of men throughout a couple seasons that have decided that they, during the parties, would wait until the Bachelorette came and stole them away. Which, spoiler, they never did. The Bachelorette never came back and would be like, hey, Ben, can I come talk to you? Like, so it happens once in a while, but mainly, like, they want to be pursued. That's why you're on the show. Yeah. Those men would often go home the very next rose ceremony because they're like, you didn't make any effort, especially early on. It was usually this early on that they'd be like, I had a great one-on-one date with her, and if she wants to, if I need to see it come from her end, so I'm going to wait until she comes and steals me. And it's like, that's not why you're on this show. Like, that. This is not paradise. That's not the purpose of the show.
Yeah, the lion doesn't sit there and wait for the gazelle to come up to it and go, hey, you want to eat me now? That's not how it works, dude. You're there you are the prey as the man. When it's Bachelorette, the men are the prey, and the woman is the
pride.
No, the prey. What is
the hunter? Okay, moving on.
I don't know. Don't that.
Yeah.
Louis, I see Louis in the chat. He knows why I.
So wrapping up
right now,
what men do we actually see Tayshia with that we would like Tayshia to be with? Because I would like her to be with Bennett, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, American Psycho. No. In all honesty, I would love for Tayshia to be with me. I'm a good guy. I know I'm not at all what you're looking for. But I'm a good guy, and if you would want, like we can be friends. We can start as friends. You know what I'm saying, Tayshia girl?
So I think Tayshia.
I need a smoke show.
Actually, oh my god. I don't know if I really like any of these guys with Tayshia because I don't really like any of the guys that she likes. I mean, Brendan, I guess the guy she went on a date with last week, I guess they'll be cute together. I like them. But I don't really like Ben, who she says she likes. I don't like that Zach C guy that she kind of likes. We don't like Spencer. We didn't see a lot of him. Yeah,
none of these guys were tailored for her though, so she really did kind of get the shaft. That's
true. I like Ivan. I like the guy who rode horses with her, Brendan. Yeah, I like Ivan too. I don't think she's gonna end up with Ivan, but I do like Ivan. Personally, I mean, I like Joe. I just don't think they're gonna end up together. And yeah, so I guess that's all we have about this episode. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
No.
No?
Are we going to skip over the rose ceremony?
We didn't have a rose ceremony.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, in the beginning. That was the end.
And she kept, I missed, sorry. Damn it, I missed my chance to rant. I was ready to rant because she kept both of the effing losers on Smokey and Petty Ed. She kept them both around, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's just like Claire. Like, these guys
have to keep the drama going.
Around. Get rid of these ass clowns.
They have to keep the drama going. She's not going to get rid of both of them. And she even said, like, I got rid of the guys I didn't see any connections with, and there's something there with Smokey. Yeah. She didn't say Smokey. This episode, it started with a group date, rose ceremony, ended with a group date. It was because it's all off, like the thing's off. So next week we'll probably start with a one-on-one group date and rose ceremony, be back to normal. Yes, I did forget to say that. She did give Noah the group date rose, even though he wasn't supposed to be on the group date. How did you feel about that?
Well, I mean, dude, at the point, yes, he didn't start on the group date.
But he ended on the group date.
So, I mean, that's all that meant. At that point, when Tayshia wanted to include him, in my mind, he's officially on the group date.
Someone did.
They're just doing the stupid, petty, jealous, playing, he's playing with my toy, taking my video game time away from me shit. Dude, there's no
rules
contest, okay? And there is no, like, you get 5 minutes, then you get 5 minutes, then you get 5 minutes. Hell no, this is a contest, man. The aim of this is to win. And I can't stand this whole...
To win?
The way of me winning. Well, it's like, well, then play better, asshole.
No, I think the point is just to have a good time.
Well, I mean, the point is to win, though. None of them are sitting there. I have not heard one single person, male or female, on this show sit there and go, man, I don't care if I lose. I'm just happy I'm having a good time.
There's a few people, you'd be surprised. I've heard a couple of people where I'm like, I knew I didn't like him week one. I was just there to have fun. Like, a lot of people go on the show.
They're honest.
Yeah, a lot of people go on just to get a free vacation. Like, honestly. Someone did say, like, does this mean that Noah isn't going to be on a one-on-one, or he isn't going to be on another group date?
That's what I'm interested in, because if he's on the next group date, then those guys are going to be pissed. The other half of the guys are going to be mad.
Yeah.
But what do you think, though? Do you think he should be on the next group date? I kind of think, why not, man? I mean,
I don't think he will be.
He was asked by Chris, anyone else want to fight? He stepped up. Tayshia invited him along to be a part of the end of the group date. In my mind, that should not take away him being on the next group date.
Yeah, but he already got a group date rose, though. I don't know.
So what? That's the game. Somebody gets a rose. That's the name of the game.
That's true. He hasn't been on a full. I don't know. They probably will, just to pull the extra drama and be like, well, you already got a group date, Rose, so he's out of the running. I don't think this has ever really happened. I don't think he'll get I think I know who gets the one-on-one, and he doesn't get the one-on-one.
Right on.
Yeah, watching those previews, baby. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, I actually really enjoyed this episode.
Me too. It was a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what happens next week. More drama. Hopefully she just sends Petty Ed and Smokey home next week.
Yeah, forget them. We don't need them.
Until then, J Wade, where do people follow you?
You can follow me home as long as you've got a nice box of cigars, preferably Cuban. And I'm not a big drinker, but maybe like a little bit of vodka. And the other ingredient, triple sec and Rosa sweet and lime juice, so I can make some kamikazes while I'm smoking on the cigars. But if you would like to follow me,
went off the rails.
I know. You can follow me on the Twitter though at JWade1134. That is the letter J WADE 1134. And I also host an SEN Live After show called SEN After Live, and I'm on a Mandalorian review show called Hey Mando. So check those out too.
And you can follow me on Twitter. Don't follow me to my house, please. Even if you bring gifts, please don't. That's weird.
I'm outside your house right now.
But if you are going to bring a gift, please bring me a bottle of rosé. I would appreciate it. But you can follow me.
Window.
It's terrifying. On Twitter at SCBOC. Oh my gosh. SSEABOCK. You can find this show on Twitter at Go Get That Rose. And you can find the Merc with a Movie blog on Movie Blog Merc. That's where all our shows are at. That's how you found the show on this channel. And yeah, we'll be back next week recapping the next episode of Tayshia's The Bachelorette. See you then. Bye!